Climate change is a major issue for people living with HIV, especially when it comes to water. HIV and AIDS has been a dominant national reality since the first case was reported in 1986. The virus quickly spread, and the kingdom has had the highest HIV prevalence in the world, more than 27%. It has since stabilized, with more people than ever knowing their HIV status and taking their daily HIV medicine known as antiretroviral therapy. Sylvia Kuzwayo has been living with HIV since she tested positive in 1998 and started taking medicine as early as 2001.
I'm taking ARVs.
Yes.
That needs clean water for a start. I don't have clean water. So water is a big challenge.
Yes.
The gardening that I'm doing, backyard garden and the fruit trees that I'm growing, that will sustain me and my diet, there is no water. So, meaning climate change has directly affected me. I have to buy a 5 liter to take my medication because there is a long queue in the only source of water that we have, which you have to travel to fetch water, and you find a long queue as other communities are also using the same source.
Intense variation of temperatures has been much more commonplace, according to a weather expert.
What we are now looking at is the signal that is contributed by climate change in terms of the intensity, the frequency of these hazards, which includes droughts, floods, some of them, storms, which include, of course, lightning, heat waves, invasive species. Climate is a key driver of most ecosystems. So when they say the temperature, global temperatures will rise by 2 degrees, in Eswatini you're talking about 3 to 4 degrees. What is important again to note from this map is that all of Eswatini is experiencing an increase in temperature.
Kabile Ndlovu is the very first woman to publicly disclose her HIV status almost 20 years ago. She says she has never seen such erratic weather.
Just last week, one day it was very hot. Very hot. The following day we were freezing. What is that? It's not even gradually. There's extremes happening. My avocados trees are not doing well. It's like someone has set them on fire because we've experienced frost that we've never experienced here before.
Although this year, Cyclone Eloise was too much for the crops.
Sine lapha asimemeteli bantwana sifundisa abantwana sithi akuyiwe emhlabathini but umbuzo uthi utathaka yokwendana lo mntwana emhlabathini ngoba kude lokutawunisela lo mhlabathi ngoba umuntu utawuya lapha ensimini bese wendani ngiyabona nje la kunemasimla silimile iminyaka sehluleka tetathi inhlangano thina into kahulumende tathi no limane emabele angcono ayabambelela sawalima emabele na asha kuthi imvula nawo lamabele noma asibamba lesimo kodwa ayayifuna imvula ayafuna nawo ukuthi line lelitulo so ke Elliot uthethe konke lento so ke bekulukhuni ke litulu lapha solo lagcina ngaleyo Elliot solo lagcina lapho litulu so yonke into lobo ungathi uyayilima one lithi tena lifika lelitulu leli lakhukhula yonke into lekhona netingathi lento kwakhukhula kwabodarati wahamba kwayolahla lemndobandobo lase liphinze lenta ukuthi ungasakhoni kungena ensimini.
Climate change has the National AIDS Council worried for a number of reasons.
You cannot address HIV in a situation where there is no food, because we know that there's a strong link between your immune system and the quality of food that you can access.
As a result, he believes that because of a lack of food, people will move around and others may move to Eswatini.
We're also worried that as you see the changes in climate, we're seeing a lot of movements, and when we have people moving around, then we do expect that HIV and AIDS will be in one way or another affected.
And finally, he fears that the health and economic systems will be impacted, potentially leading to unrest.
In climate change, you find that the resources are now shrinking, and then we also talk about the disease burden, which now also strengthen the HR, the human resources, and the health systems. It does actually get affected in terms of the climate change. And then there's also, in climate change, there's also some social upheavals that we experience. So any kind of social upheavals, which also affect the economic situation.
This river in Lavomisa is named Matsanjeni, which means place of bones. The fortunes of Lavomisa changed overnight after a major climate change episode. That episode in 1984 is when Cyclone Domoina swept through the country.
Lesina Tudu. Dana nje kakhulu kwabonakala ukuthi hawu cha seliyabuya litudu kuna kwalo. Indlela lebulala lokuthi nalemvelo ingabasatiwa kakhulu nje tihlahla ngoba tihlahla ngasinye isikhathi tiba khona ngokuthi letulu leyana. Itolo besilima kulinywa bokotini kusebenzisa yona imvula. Bakhuthele labantu balima usho nembila betholakala emabela atholakala emabhontshisi konke nje bokulunga lapha kaLavomisa kepha kunele kufika naye inathi inguquko tekuna kwetulu.
As a result, the community has had to rely on others.
Leti nguquko tekuna kwetulu so kwente ukuthi eMaswati ikakhulu lapha eMahlanzeni asayondliwa kanti eMaswati abongondliwa la Mahlanzeni belina letulu balima bokotini kaLavomisa nje bokubantu bathi njinga.
The elderly and young people have had to adjust.
Because besesijwayele ukuthi siphuma sikhemandi khona la celeni endlini because sine labanye sinetimbombe emakhaya nemathanga. Lokho ke kungakhona ukuthi amantu angene emathangeni so kusihlukumetile because ukhanza ukuthi labanye bahlala khashani. Nakusuka lekhashana bete la ukhanza ukuthi bayathwala bete lamabhara. So kuba likhunyana kungcono kulaba labahamba ngemabhara because bona bayakhona kuphatha 2 etigubhu than lonalohamba nasinye lilanga libe linye kanti lo lophethe 2 angakhonathi lo 2 amsebenzisa namhla nakusasa kanti lona ufuna phinza abuye entsambama.
The water taps in the town of Lavomisa are dry these days, and COVID-19 has not helped matters. Waves of demonstrations took hold and a water facility was burnt down. Government, now sensitive of the public mood, has responded, promising action to restore the water. At least for Lavomisa, help is on the horizon. A new major dam is being planned for the community. A dam may not be enough considering climate change projections over the next 8 years.
What this is showing is basically projected changes in temperature over the next 8 years or so up to the end of this the 21st century. The Lowveld will become even much warmer than it is today. Every part of the country will be warmer than it is today.
40 years into the fight against HIV, both the successes and the failures have taught us that we cannot prepare or defeat a pandemic and climate change unless we tear down inequalities, promote people-centered, rights-based approaches, and work together with communities to reach everyone in need. As the sun rises warmer each day, The fate of people hangs in the balance.